I've been listening to a lot of podcasts on evolutionary psychology because I'm unemployed and I have a lot of free time and I just am interested in a lot of random topics. One of the podcasts I listened to called Modern Wisdom, he introduces this term to me called hypergamy. Here's the definition of hypergamy, and it basically says that since the beginning of time, in general, women have chosen to mate with men who are of an equal or higher socioeconomic status than them. This is important in evolutionary psychology because it kind of goes back to the times of the hunter-gatherer. So the women were often the ones who were staying at home with the children, and they were the ones who were responsible for going out and gathering the vegetables and the nuts, whereas the men were the ones who were going out and hunting. This was definitely true back in the hunter-gatherer times because women were choosing to mate with men who could hunt because that meant that they had more access to resources, and that also meant that they could provide for their children more effectively. Essentially, it was a great survival strategy. This concept of hypergamy is really important today in terms of the declining birth rate. There's currently a huge societal shift going on where there's more women than men who are graduating from university. According to this article by Forbes from last year, in 2021, there were 3.1 million more women in college than men. If more women than men are graduating from university, that means that there are less men who are at a high socioeconomic status. Basically, in terms of evolutionary psychology, there are less suitable mates out there for women. Now, I know this is not true for everyone, but this is just what evolutionary psychologists believe, that this concept of hypergamy has been passed down since the times of the hunter-gatherers, where women were mating with men who had access to a lot of resources and were big and strong and could provide for their families. They think the same mentality and the same psychology has been passed down to women of today. And also, this is just my opinion, but since more and more women are getting a college education, I think more women are starting to realize that they can provide for themselves. They don't need a man to go out and buy them the things that they want because they're making good money now. This all ties back to the declining birth rate in Korea, China, Japan, and many other industrialized countries because many women are just looking at the dating pool and they're not really seeing many viable mates.